What's up, everybody? Welcome back. This is my SCUF Elite first session impressions video. I'm going to tell you how I feel about this controller now after playing with it for the first time. We're going to look at some footage from last night's gameplay, and we're also going to talk about how I set it up. I thought that would be fun to share with you guys. You know, they say a magician shouldn't give away her secrets, but I'd like you guys to be able to see it so that you can try it for yourself, or if you're struggling with how to set it up, it might help you. This controller is significantly better than anything I've ever had before. Period. I think mainly where that lies is in the power of the Xbox Accessories app that you can use to tune all the aspects of this controller, whether it's a button you want to change because it's awkward for the way your brain works, or you want to fine-tune the sensitivity of something. It is so powerful, and I'll give some examples of that when we go through the settings, the things that I discovered. But yeah, I'm happy with this, and this is a thumbs up for the Elite as a whole. We aren't really talking about it as the SCUF version anymore, because the things I noticed the most don't have anything to do with the SCUF parts that I have. 100% honesty. Okay. Now, I want to step back because I don't want to give any disrespect to the Razer Wildcat. That was a significant step over the controller, the original controller that I had. It changed my game entirely. It probably taught me things that I needed to know to make this new controller what I wanted. And then this controller is another step over that. And I stand by what I said before, that the Wildcat is a great controller depending on what you're looking for and how much you want to spend. That is a fantastic controller. That's $150 straight up. Great controller. Still going to use it, still love it. Okay, so I want to get that out of the way because respect to Razer, that is a great piece of hardware. Okay, when we look at the video, you're going to see some examples of, you know, me tracking a target, how I'm able to make fine adjustments. And the game that I'm playing is Halo 5, of course. All the Halo games have always been my go-to games, and it's the only game I would ever test a controller like this on. That is the game that pushed me to my level of fanaticism about controls and having them right, because it makes such a difference. And you know what? I'll take my shot at Call of Duty right now and just say, you know, any dipshit with good fast twitch and really stable internet can be good at Call of Duty and go on a tear. Halo takes tactics and smarts, and sustained accuracy is the word that I've heard in a lot of analysis videos to be good at. And so it's more critically important than anything that you have a controller that allows you to track a target, make adjustments, you know, all of those kind of things. Because if you can't stay on the target, you're going to get destroyed. You're not going to get lucky. It doesn't work that way. So that's where this is all evolved from, is that experience in that game. I went into Warzone Firefight. I didn't want to play against people yet because I didn't know how awkward it would be. It actually wasn't. Hot tip, the new paddles, I picked them up right away. No problem. And so you're going to see me tracking a ghost that I was shooting at, which I always used to over-accelerate with the reticle no matter how I set anything. It was always a problem. And you're going to see me shooting at, you know, groups of enemies and making like really small adjustments. And, you know, where I would miss a lot no matter how careful I tried to be or how much I practiced, you're going to see it quick and pinpoint on. And it's hard for me to describe the way that it feels because you're not me trying to play and feeling it, but it's such a difference. Such a difference. So I'm going to roll those clips, check them out. I encourage you after you're done watching this video to look at all of my Halo 5 videos up to this point and look at how the movement looked back then versus what you see in these Warzone firefight clips. Because you can actually see it if you're looking for it. You can see how it's different. So here's the clips. Check them out. I promise that it's short. And then when we come back from the clips, we will go through what my settings are.
Targets eliminated.
One last run! Move and take it position!
Shields recharged.
Okay, so you can see here we're looking at the screenshot from the accessories app of the completed configuration for my controller. And I'm not going to go into what the trigger screen actually looked like and all that, but I'll just tell you how I have it set to make it easy. We'll start with the paddles, which is if you look at the bottom there, Y is mapped to the inside right-hand paddle. And for me, Y is switch. So my weapon switch is the inside right SCUF paddle. The outside right SCUF paddle is melee. And so that's right under my finger at all times. Without moving anything, I can press that and give someone a good back smack. It's just the way I like it. And truly that particular thing, taking melee off a face button and putting it on a trigger, really increased my ability to win a close quarters 1v1. Significant. And, being able to continue a look movement and execute a melee meant that I would get the melee and they wouldn't. So that's why I've done that. Moving over to the left, my outside left paddle is sprint. I like to be able to do that quickly to just GTFO and get away. I don't like having to reach for a face button to do that. I just don't. I need to be able to look and point myself and then hit that to get out of there. And then the last paddle, the inside left, is a left stick click, which in this case for me is crouch. I do not like anything that you have to click a stick for. I probably should have another paddle for aiming down the sights in Halo, or aim the zoom in Halo. It's not really aim down the sights in Halo. I don't like clicking the right stick for that, but it's easier to deal with than clicking to crouch, or some games have you click to run. I absolutely hate that. It's awkward, and I don't like wearing stuff out by doing that. So I don't have jump on a paddle. I know that's very common. It is not a problem for me to use a face button to jump. So for me, that's always on A, pretty much no matter what. And if a game doesn't have it on A, I'll change it. Because now I can, no matter what. Hee hee. As for the right stick, you can see the left one doesn't have anything pointing at it. That one is default. The right stick is set on the smooth setting. And the way that I settled on that, I'll be honest, I haven't tried the other settings, but before I bought this, I went on the Waypoint forums and just searched for what other people had done for Halo with their Elite. Consistently, that smooth setting for the right stick came up, and I noticed its effect right away when I hopped into the game after setting this up. It really helped even more with that over acceleration and just kind of wild, twitchy, sporadic movement issue that I would have no matter how I set things. The height, the physical height of the stick, which we will go over in the next section, helps as well. But that in combination with that smooth setting, big difference. I recommend smooth for any shooter, especially Halo. It works really well. Then going up to the top, to the triggers there, you see that 0, 50. So looking at the trigger settings page, that's 0 at the top, 50 moving down towards the bottom of that slider scale, and they are mirrored. They're exactly the same. In Halo, I want the same response to throw a grenade as I do to fire a shot, as, you know, milliseconds are everything when it comes to executing something like that, and your shields are popped and you're dying, right? You need that. And that goes really well with the stops, because that 0 to 50 sort of makes full trigger engagement right when you hit the bottom of that stop. It seems to be a nice little sweet spot how it works with Halo. Probably will work okay with Destiny too, but I haven't set that up yet. Anyway, that's what's on there. And I know some of you watching this are probably going to ask about that controller name there beneath my gamer tag, right? It says Winona. So people that know me watching this will know where that comes from. But if you don't, Farscape fans would know that Winona was the name of the character John Crichton's beloved pulse pistol. He would freak out if he didn't have Winona or someone took Winona. That's in an episode somewhere, and it's hilarious. And so that's my nod to Farscape, one of my favorite shows. Winona was John's weapon. This controller is my beloved weapon that I use to pwn noobs. So I had to do it. Anyway, that's that, guys. So that's that part of it. That's what I did to the controller in the accessories app. As far as Halo 5 is concerned, I did not change my base settings at all. So I'm going to let you guys know what that is as well. Just, you know, in case you've had trouble with your Halo 5 settings as a whole and you're not sure what you need to do. But my actual game settings now, they're default unless I call them out specifically. Okay. The button layout that I've always used, because my first Halo was Halo 3, is Recon. So when I go back and do the Master Chief Collection, I use that global Recon with it, you know, tweaked depending on which individual game I'm playing. But Halo 5 Recon button layout. Okay. Everything defaulted except for what I'm going to call out, which is my inner and outer dead zones are 0%. I use none of that. I was reading about one of the pros, I don't remember who it is now, that's what he used, and I just tried it, and instantly I improved. I don't know why that is, but it works for me. So that there's no delay before it starts doing something, and it doesn't make it twitchy. I don't know how to describe it. It's just that it goes right away. My look sensitivity is 3. My look acceleration is 2. And again, that acceleration, when I tried that and turned it down, this is also based on that same pro, I found that I didn't over accelerate and, you know, go past something. It significantly changed that issue that I was having before I, you know, touched any of this stuff. I've also done those more granular adjustments that were added later, which is the horizontal sensitivity at 2.5 and the vertical sensitivity at 3. Okay, so I changed those as well. Everything else is defaulted to whatever the hell that it is. Okay, so that's the foundation that the controller settings are built on, and the way that those two things jive is excellent. I also mentioned that the hardware changes that I made, the accessory changes, are contributing to it as well. So we're going to talk about what those things are, and I'll just go through each of those things as we go. Remember that my trigger stops are engaged, so I have short pull on these triggers in addition to how I set the sensitivity to jive with that in the accessories app. Okay. SCUF paddles, right? We went over how those are set. The big thing, and I think this combines with how I already had Halo set, what we were just talking about, is this is a medium domed stick. That's what's recommended, if not the height, the domed for the look, because you're making these like rolling movements, right? And so your thumb can roll across the top of that stick and be finer about it without you having to like lift and change what you're doing, right? You can just stay on there and roll around, and you're always in sort of a flat contact patch if the stick is domed. One thing I didn't know if I wanted to do or not, if you watch the first videos, I couldn't decide whether I wanted the factory stick or the taller one that came in my accessory set. And at first I thought, oh man, that short throw is great. But I bolted this on at some point in the session. I don't remember where. And I actually liked the way it felt, and I thought, oh, no, it feels a little tall, take it off. When I took it off, I could tell that it wasn't right. I like having a little finer control that the taller one gives you, because it gives you a finer angle to work with. So both of these are medium sticks, medium height sticks. This one's concave for precision, so I can set my thumb in there and be precise about it. Now, that goes to those fine movements from the clips, like when I was shooting all of those Covenant guys on the roof of the building, right? Or trying to stay on that Elite. I'm actually not using my reticle to do that. I'm using my walk, my strafe to do that. So I can set my thumb in there and be precise about it, right? And then, same thing. Anytime that you're looking, a taller stick is supposed to be better. And I can definitely feel that it is. So I'm able to keep my thumb in a good contact patch on here without resetting where my thumb is, right? Because it's domed. And then it's taller, so I can be fine about it. That physical arrangement combined with that smooth setting and that other stuff that I did, that seems to be the secret sauce for me. That fixed those things that I get frustrated with and always kind of seem to fail on, as far as being able to move and look around and peg something right. So, yeah, that's it, guys. And in conclusion, this controller was worth every penny. I probably already said that. I got the color I wanted. I have it set up the way I want. I can already tell it's going to change the level of my game again. And I'm really excited about it, because you spend that much on something, you want it to be worth it and not an expensive paperweight or just something that you end up not really using because it didn't do what you want. Get what I have if you want your own colors that are your thing, and you still want to be able to make the refined adjustments, map any button, save a lot of different profiles. Those are my bullet points for this decision. And I'm so happy with it. What I'm hoping for is not coming back here down the road and saying, oh, this thing broke, this thing wore out, whatever it is. I'm hoping that when I come back, if I do, it'll be to say, yep, everything's still perfect, this thing's awesome, and here's more great stuff that I figured out. That's what I'm anticipating I'm going to do. I hope that's how it's going to go. Anyway, I hope you guys have enjoyed this and learned something. That's the whole point, is for me to share with you guys, and hopefully you can pick up things that make you more comfortable and make you a better player. So until next time, guys, see you later.